and obviously chiropractors are meant to help as many people as possible. So that is my ultimate motivation, is to help as many people as possible with my profession. Why should you hire me? Well, because of my strengths and not because of my weaknesses. But well, why should you hire me? Because I will do everything I can to, make our relationship successful. I've been through, the disappointment of having my practice fail, but that hasn't gotten me down. That hasn't, kicked me to the curb, so to speak. I'm I'm highly motivated to, be successful, and with your, guidance and knowledge of the chiropractic field, I feel that, just as long as you're able to pass at least some of that on to me, I think that we could have a wonderful, relationship and successful partnership. What does it take to be successful in a company such as yours? I think the humility to know that, I don't necessarily have all the answers. To be able to take instruction from someone who has learned something, quite valuable, such as the systems that I believe you're using, and the clinical knowledge that you have, and also the professional experience that you possess. So someone who's open-minded to someone else's way of performing, and then on top of that, also the drive to perform. Tell me about a time where you had to work under pressure. Maybe I should look at this one a little closer. I would say I'd like to come back to that one. That's going to be. I'll come back to my weaknesses. 2 to 3 things most important to you in your jobs. I would say the first thing I would want in my job is, and I assume you're talking about future job. The first thing that I'd want is my professional responsibilities to be, obviously ethical. I wouldn't want, to be doing more harm than good. Obviously, I would like to, be helping people. Maybe a second most important thing in my job, I would say being able to get along with those who are around me, and feel comfortable with those who are around me. I think if you're comfortable enough with the people around you, and you're more likely to enjoy yourself, and therefore more likely to be able to help more people. I mean, obviously what we do is actually physical, but also other things, kind of side effect of what a chiropractor does, at least in my mind, is also kind of emotional. I mean, we take care of people's physical problems, but with the physical problems also come the kind of the psychological problem. Maybe it can be uplifting to our patients. Do you mind if I call your previous employer? Well, you can call me anytime. I am my previous employer, but I guess before me I also worked in a small microbiology lab, and so yeah, you can call my employer. I believe they would have great things to say about me. Why did I leave my previous job? Well, I got accepted into chiropractic school. I didn't kind of go into this in my story, but I got accepted into chiropractic school, but I decided, maybe I didn't want to, continue going to school. So right after I graduated from K-State with my microbiology degree, I actually accepted a job in a lab, being a production microbiologist is what my title was. What I was doing was culturing horse tissue, equine tissue, and infecting it with virus, and I would end up killing the virus and making vaccine from it. So why did I leave that job? Was to pursue my career in chiropractic. I kind of, after the 6 months of working there, I enjoyed my job, but I kind of found it pretty boring. I mean, I'm sure, entry-level job is going to be boring, and I kind of got restless. And I also wanted to pursue a passion of mine, and that was health. And so, what interests you most about this position? What interests me most about the position is the guidance and the learning experience that I would be getting from someone who, has been practicing, and someone who knows the field, such as yourself. And so I think it would definitely be a learning experience that I need. So what would you change about your personality? I'm going to have to do a video on all my weaknesses after this one, so I'll come back to that one too. How would you feel about traveling as part of your job? I feel like I would enjoy it. I don't know how much traveling you're anticipating that I partake in, but I think it would be an enjoyable experience. I personally like to go on road trips. I mean, I enjoy the time in the car, so I don't know. Kind of a side note. What situation would you feel honesty to be inappropriate? I think for the most part, I mean, obviously everyone will agree honesty is almost always important. Would there be an exception? Well, I could only see in the most extreme case of, let's say someone's suicidal and they're asking where you keep your gun. Obviously you wouldn't tell them where you kept your gun. I mean, would you necessarily have to tell them anything? No, probably not. But if you can distract them by telling them somewhere else, maybe that would help them out. So that way you can, catch them or whatever. That's that, and maybe a silly situation such as, someone asking you some minor detail about, is this, do I look ugly in this, or something like that. Well, you'd want to be honest with them, but only if it would help them out would you want to be honest with them. I mean, if they were, wearing something and it wasn't